think we have one download in China. That's what we.
No.
12. We have a lot. We have a little bit more than that.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, you guys, you all know, we're going to interview Jann first, and then we do a segment at the end of that interview called Punch It Up,
Oh, yeah.
where we ask some comics to come up and do their set for us, and then they come over and sit on the couch. You grab that mic and sit on the couch, and then we talk to them or give them tag ideas or suggestions. It's like to see if we can punch up their stuff.
Okay, that's great.
It's not like, it's all very positive. When it works best, it's most like a writing group, where we're just joking around about their experience and all that and see if we can't get some good stuff out of them. Good?
Yeah.
And for the comics, at 3 minutes, you'll get the red light as usual, and we have
So these are the two comics.
Yes. Yousef, can you scoot over just so we can see you a little bit? And plus, you guys will come right up here. And then when you're talking on the mic, if you can just, it is a podcast. There is no one here, but you don't need to say that because then everyone says that. I mean, just do the set because they're listening. And then pick up that microphone and come over here. And everyone makes the couch at the FlappCast. Isn't that awesome? FlappCast. No, just we'll introduce you and do your 3 minutes, and then you'll come over and we'll interview you. Yeah. Perfect.
Show goes an hour?
Yes, we actually are going to try to finish around 6:05, maybe at the latest.
Okay.
Yes.
Just so.
Yeah.
Oh, Jann. I was just leaving it like that so we could get that. See the mics?
Yeah, I upped the input on it too.
Oh, you did? Okay. This is our digital recorder. We're going to just record on here too, but we're recording through there too.
Okay,
Looks
so
great in here.
if we're ready, everybody silence your cell phones if you'd like to.
No.
And when you hear the music, we've begun.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of the FlappCast, Behind the Funny, where we find out what goes on behind the scenes at a comedy club, right? I'm Barbara Holliday, your host,
I'm Joshua Snyder, your co-host.
and we have an amazing headliner with us. Oh, you've heard her, seen her everywhere for at least the last 20 years. The amazing, let's hope I say it right, Jann Karam.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh.
Karam. Yeah. Perfect. Hi, welcome.
Her most famous credit, I have to start off and say that if you watched Seinfeld, right, and you know Elaine, the character Elaine, Jann is not Elaine, but almost was Elaine. She played basically the girl,
Girlfriend. Yeah.
yes, who is a lot like Elaine.
No, I didn't. No.
But she is, you are.
Oh, yeah.
I know, in a good way.
Yeah. We have similar.
Just for our listeners, they might recognize that.
Yeah, dark hair and kind of look like her. And
Yes.
Yeah. And I played the girl that would in the Switch episode. You know the Switch episode? Yeah. Well, you know. And they said Jerry made a joke, and then I say, "That's funny." And then Elaine goes, "Have you noticed she never laughs?" And then Jerry goes, And then he noticed a roommate laughs, and I don't. And then he wants to do the switch. And then George says, "The switch has never been done." And then they have coffee for like 24 hours, just throwing wads of paper, coming up with a plan of how to do the switch. And then they go, "Forget it, it's not going to happen." And then George goes, "Okay, it's like 3 a.m. Then he comes back and he throws his jacket down. He goes, "I've got it." So then it was tell me that he wants to have a menage a trois with my roommate, and George says she's going to want nothing to do with it, and he thinks it's like a brilliant idea. She's not going to have anything to do with the menage a trois. She's going to get mad and say, "If you want the roommate, go ahead and go out with her. I don't want anything to do with you."
But
Then I say, Jerry says, I don't know the exact wording, but I think it's a menage a trois. And then I go, "Ooh, what a wild idea." And then Jerry goes, "Huh?" It's like, "Huh?"
Jann's recited the entire episode for us. We really appreciate.
You know why?
Yes, and
And then you know what's so funny is that people ask me and I tell them that whole story and they don't get it until I say the menage a trois episode.
oh, but it was really called The Switch.
Called the switch, yeah.
So,
But then the tagline though is that then the roommate comes in, you're like, he's into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
wow, Josh, nice
Yeah,
recall.
you were- no,
Oh, the roommate comes out.
Right.
Oh, because it was like a trick to get him to do
he's
it.
into it because they
That didn't
reference
really
it in
happen.
a later episode where another character there's
Oh.
another menage a trois situation.
Oh,
He's
right.
into it.
Oh, right. That was the one with George, right?
So, Jan, though,
Anyway.
you were a comedian first and have been for
Yeah.
how long now?
I knew Jerry and Larry.
Oh,
And
okay.
So then that's how I auditioned. I actually auditioned 3 times. And
3
Yeah, it
times.
was awful. I'm like, I'm never going to audition again if I don't get it this time.
Did you have to do stand up or did you
No,
just
I
read
had to read the
lines?
part.
Wow. And they
Right.
had seen you do stand up and knew you.
Yeah, that's why they had me
And they
come
said,
in,
come in.
which is very flattering.
Yes.
But they didn't think I was right, but then they thought I was right for this part because it's a comedian who always says when someone says something funny, you go, they don't laugh. A comedian always says, that's funny. So that's why they wanted, I guess they wanted a comedian to say.
Look at Dano.
Yeah.
Oh, were you just ecstatic when
Yeah,
you
I
got
was
that?
really excited.
But you've had a very successful career in comedy, and you've
Yeah.
opened and worked with some of
Yes.
the biggest. I mean, Dana Carvey in particular, a
Right.
lot, but
Yes.
many other comedians.
Correct.
Like,
Yeah. Let's see.
hell, did I set that up well, or I
don't
was
know
like,
what
eh?
Well, Dana Carvey.
Yeah, Dana Carvey, yeah.
There's so
worked with a lot of
many.
people. Let's see. I was on Arsenio Hall's show, but I used to work with Jerry in New York, Jerry Seinfeld, and
Live
so I
on
know-
stage.
Yeah, live on stage, and Bill Maher, because I was at Catch a Rising Star. So
She
all
just
those
throws
guys
these
were
little
there.
names off, like,
I
well, let me try and remember.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, yeah. So and then and so it's good. And then
Well,
I don't know.
how did you start as I mean, we always like to hear that,
Mm-hmm.
background of like what was your first comedy experience and how did you get involved in stand up?
Yeah, I try not to make my answers too long. But, because it always has. I get the psychology part in there.
She'll recite it in a 22-minute sitcom
Yeah,
episode format.
I was in college, and then I wasn't getting any parts in any. 'Cause
You
I'm
were an
not really
actress. You were
I
in-
took theater, but I'm from a small town. They didn't have
What
theater.
town?
Superior, Arizona.
Okay, that is a small town,
5,000 people, mostly Hispanic.
but it's superior.
It's
so
superior.
to other small towns, I guess. No?
Yeah, we were inferior, superior. Superior. It was kind of like, wait, we're not really superior, but so anyway, okay, so I go to college at ASU,
Ooh.
and I couldn't get in any of the plays because I don't really fit into like junk like that, and so then I just started doing stand-up because I said, I'm not going to wait. for
At
something.
ASU?
Well, not there, but there was some clubs around there, like Macayo's Mexican food restaurant. So
Oh, the famous Macayo's Mexican food.
Scottsdale. Everybody knows.
Yeah, of course.
And so and also the Playboy Club. Can you believe it?
Well, that I
was
believe
like
because
a-
she is hot. If you for
Oh,
our
I wasn't
listeners who
funny,
don't, I mean,
JannKara.
1-800, 1-800.
No,
No.
976.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Crazy. Oh, I'm giving away my age. Uh oh.
Wait, is 976? Because they still do that?
Yeah.
That's okay.
So you jumped up on the stage. Do you remember one of your first jokes? That's always a hard question. I remember my first, but
You do?
yeah, but
Okay.
I'm not sharing. I've done it. I've shared it before. It was a dirty one, of
I
course.
had one.
Of course,
too.
when you're starting out.
Yeah, I just had one. My mom used to say, "Don't be dirty," because the guys love it. She would say, but don't be dirty. I don't know.
So you don't remember?
I can't. Well, I had one. Do you want to?
Yes,
this
try.
Was like when I lived in New York, like in Queens. I mean, I didn't live in Queens, but I lived in New York. I worked Queens and all those like rough Italian clubs, or like the Guido kind of. Is that
Queens.
racist? Queens, Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
whatever, Pips, all those places. Hey. And,
Hey, do some
I had
comedy.
one joke like, this one guy was kissing me and he's like stuck his tongue in my
Ooh.
throat. He stuck his tongue so far. I hate this joke, but it was always got a laugh. It was like he stuck his tongue so far.
Let's hear
that
it.
It gagged me. He stuck
Uh-huh.
his tongue so far in my throat that it gagged me. So I threw up on him.
Uh-huh.
And then I was mad because he didn't swallow it.
Oh.
That's good, though, right?
That's a nice reverse.
That's nice. I mean, it was.
take it.
Feminine stuff.
We do all do.
I could still do that joke now. I
Yeah.
should,
Well, yes, and it's even funnier because you're,
'cause I'm funny
a little
now.
bit. No, because you're a little bit older. Just it's a little funnier, I
Oh,
think,
okay.
because it's kind of a
Classic.
young. Well, yeah. I mean,
What was your dirty joke?
oh no, no, no! It's already been done. Please, it's been
What
done.
about Joshua?
I actually did it on a TV show, so I can't do it anymore because it's on
Great.
the joke off. Yeah, I did it on. It's a pilot. It was just a little pilot.
Okay, but
Jan's
now-
like, why didn't I audition
Wait,
for
no,
that?
no,
I
no,
don't.
I
They
was-
didn't call
I was
me.
trying to think, like, why can't you do one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did we
It's
sign off on it? Or
yes, of course, but it's very
I've
dirty.
never signed off on anything.
Really? Ah.
I don't know.
Well, you've
Maybe
done
my
it.
rent-
You've actually done a lot more TV since then too, right? You've since the Seinfeld, of course.
Oh,
You've,
yeah.
Yes.
Gosh.
Tell us.
You know
Tell
what?
us.
No, I mean, I don't
She's
know.
like, okay, I have a bio
I'm
here.
saying-
Do you want me to read the bio and
but
be
I
really
feel-
boring, or
I'm not I always think.
do you need to look
know
at
how,
your
like,
bio
here's what my
so you can
friend said.
remember?
My friend said about everyone wanting to be who you aren't, like, because like he said, Rob Schneider wants to be David Spade wants to be Adam Sandler, and Adam Sandler wants to be Tom Hanks. So that's really like how.
And who do you want to be?
I don't, me.
Great.
I do. I just want to be me. If only I could figure out how to do that.
Ah, right. That's the challenge of stand-up, isn't it?
I
Fi-
did a comic. I'm trying to think what I've done in the last 20 years. Comics Unleashed. Oh,
See?
Letterman. I did. Wait, did I do?
Again,
Oh, yeah, I did
again
Letterman.
with the blow-offs of the credits.
Sorry, I did. Oh, I did Letterman.
Yeah, let's see
And I
here.
did How to Live with Your Parents for the Rest of Your Life, but nothing really famous.
HBO's Young Comedian
That was-
Special,
that was
The
great.
Arsenio Hall, Mad About You,
That was before.
Politically Incorrect.
Before. Oh,
Before what?
Seinfeld.
Right, but I'm saying you
Yeah.
have a
I have
lot
some
of,
credits.
yeah, just
I
a
have
few.
street cred. That's about all.
How can you talk about the getting onto Letterman, that process?
Oh yeah, well, okay. So I'm the kind of person that never can get past the gatekeeper because I'm just not like at ASU.
Really? I feel like you are an assertive
Well, I'm assertive. but
woman
I
who
feel like
gets
it-
what she wants.
Oh wow.
I get that about you. Yeah, and you seem to know everyone.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, I'm happy that the reason why I got on Seinfeld is, and I knew the casting people, but because Jerry and Larry brought me in, that's cool to me.
Yeah.
And the reason I got on Letterman is because Letterman saw my tape.
Oh.
But because the gatekeepers, for some reason, never, I feel like they don't get, I'm not saying I'm so interested, but I feel like they don't get-
Gatekeepers. You mean there are these people who keep gates and lock everyone out without what is the
I know,
rules
that's
to get
it,
through?
gatekeeper.
I don't know of these people. Am I a gatekeeper?
Yes, you're a gatekeeper.
Oh.
But see, you're a cool. If it's like
I'm a cool
artistic,
gatekeeper.
creative, but if it's somebody that just is like going for this, okay, okay.
Okay. There are mean gatekeepers. Let's just clarify.
Comedian special.
Yes.
Because I worked with Dennis Miller.
Right.
Dennis Miller.
See,
recommended me.
it's all about
It is,
relationships.
that's what I'm saying.
Got
Yes,
it.
I knew Arsenio because I did comedy club with him, George Slaughter.
And he's a huge supporter of female comics, by the way.
Yes.
Arsenio Hall in particular, amazing.
It really is because I was just.
We
talking
love
to
that
the
about
other
him.
day.
Yes.
He was doing a show, and I said there weren't any women on the show. He goes, that's what I was wondering. He goes, and that's one thing about here is you always have a lot of women comedians.
I'm a feminist gatekeeper.
Yes. I
let's
know.
let's
You
give
might-
it that.
And then it's the reverse where the men feel slighted.
Yeah,
Like,
men.
look, Josh is on
You
the
men
show.
feel slighted, right? By flappers.
We deserve it.
Well, flappers is a female name, right? It's a feminine,
Yeah.
feminist, rule-breaking ladies. You know.
You're the Elizabeth Warren of comedy.
Ooh, thank you, Jan. Very
love
nice.
her.
Did you know my sister's name is Jan? A lot of people don't know I have a sister, and her name is Jan.
Where is she?
So I often think of her when
Aw.
yes, but I actually can't stand her. But anyway, no, but I like you, Jan.
you
It's,
Well, she only spells her name
siblings.
with one N, so.
Yeah, it's a
okay.
little bit different, but
But so I hope I don't make your skin crawl.
no, you look amazing, seriously. You're such a beautiful, sexy, hot,
Wow.
comedian, but
Get
your
that off.
voice is fun too. Did you ever, obviously people have commented on your voice, right? It's very cute, and
Okay,
and funny sounding.
Oh, that's good. No, I don't know.
You've
I don't-
never heard that before.
No, but I don't,
Okay.
what do you call it?
Think of it like that, or
No, I didn't, it's not contrived, like I didn't.
Right.
You yeah. But don't you think that with comedy, you learn how to use your voice it's your instrument? So
Right.
You know how to because I was actually, is this interesting? I was listening to my set, because I headlined at Flappers Claremont, right, your club, and I love it. It's such a great audience, and it was a really great crowd. Anyway, I was listening on the way to the tape, on the way here to do the podcast, because I like to listen to my sets. And I was like, oh, okay, that's why I threw that line away. I didn't go down enough with my voice, or I didn't articulate it like da-da-da-da-da, or whatever it is,
so you have a process for your comedy. We love hearing that too.
Yeah. It has
What
a
is yours?
rhythm.
Well, you listen to everything? Do you write down everything? Do you
Yeah.
listen to every set after you've done a show?
Sometimes I'm ashamed, and then I go, just make yourself listen to it. What kind of an employee
Force
are you?
yourself.
Yeah, don't you?
Oh, I hate hearing myself. Yeah.
Then that's ridiculous.
You have to.
Because if the audience might hate it too.
Right. And we have to make them not hate it the next time.
Yes, exactly.
Therefore, you must listen to yourself.
have
No, it is. You have to watch
'Cause
everything.
I was like, oh, okay, I was talking too much, or I trailed off there, or keep it tight, or
Yeah.
whatever. That's what he said. Hey. Right, Josh? Josh says that
Josh is chiming to get
Oh,
in
thank
here.
you. We got applause from the
Yeah,
people.
wasn't that great?
So now
One
do you
person.
perform anymore? Or, right?
Is this my interview
I
or
know.
you? I love how she asks me questions. Oh, in me?
Well, yeah, I want to know, because you have brought.
You don't
I
listen to
say
our
it was-
podcast,
it
but
was-
yeah.
I'm going,
Yeah, it's okay. It's
wait,
okay.
what do you-
I'll repeat.
I didn't even know you had one. So
I
now-
know. Well, now
They
you
asked
do.
me to do it, and by the way, you guys, I'm headlining tonight, so wherever you are in the world,
Come
please
here.
you have 2.5 hours to get here.
Perfect. Hopefully, we'll have uploaded this quick enough.
Oh, right. In the past.
Yeah,
Okay.
excellent. And it was so funny. Let me just tell them now in case they don't make it. It was the best show ever
right.
tonight. Yeah,
Yeah, we
that
did.
you're missing if you've missed it and are listening. So,
But I think because of your comedy history and your tactile experience, like you've actually been on stage.
I'm in tactiles.
Yeah, do you?
Is that
she's
like
making-
is that
I'm
like
trying to be
textiles?
serious, and she-
Textiles,
Yeah,
tactiles.
Yeah, you're in tactile.
Right. It's very lucrative.
Saying that you've touched a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh, in what way, Joshua? Please don't report it. Please,
That's-
please don't tell anyone.
Have you touched
I'm the
Joshua?
least dirty person on this podcast right now. That's what I
Nobody's
find
dirty.
incredible.
She forced me. She helped me at mic point
I
and made me do that.
yes, and I
awful
touched your knee.
joke.
I'm a toucher.
Oh, okay, that's
I am a toucher.
I'm too. I'm a
Yeah,
toucher. And people
yeah.
are so touchy.
We did get dirty on that, but
Wait, what did we get to?
Well-
Was that too about the don't? About
no, touching is a good
Oh,
thing.
no, that joke.
I
That wasn't dirty.
I don't really
Dirty
touch
was
with
like
my hands. I touch with my.
And I'm not judging the dirtiness. I'm just pointing out that
This
I'm
is-
the least dirty person, and I'm me.
Okay.
That's what's so
Your
bizarre.
knee.
Yes, the nerdy virgin. So you were destined for a career in comedy, is what I see.
Yes.
Right? It's like no matter what you would do, you just kept getting cast in the comedy parts.
Well,
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I was always funny because the only way to make my dad pay attention was if I said something funny.
You came from a big family, or
Just like two other people.
and they're not in the two humans.
Yes, you.
I think they're humans.
You know what? But guess what? My dad was always from some small town, so he was like Mr. Community, whatever. You know, he was
Arizona, like
he
he
was
put
like the president of whatever.
Oh.
He always gave speeches
of the Rock Society, like the Arizona Red
Well, like
Rocks.
the Rotary Club.
Oh, the
of Columbus,
Rotary,
he would go
Elks
and,
Rotary.
He would give speeches or do funerals. I mean, anytime he could speak, and he always said you have to have 3 jokes whenever you speak. So I think maybe I learned. I don't know. Can he sing?
Did he tell you one of those jokes? One of the 3 jokes, or do you remember?
No, he said always have 3 jokes
Oh.
whenever you give a speech.
Good advice, Josh. 3 jokes. Write down 3 jokes.
Yeah.
Always got it.
I
Always
can't
have
even
to-
remember any of the jokes, but he would speak it.
So
He
you
was funny at the funerals too.
He was, he would, yeah. I don't know. He wasn't,
and your mom?
yeah, I mean, they're funny, honestly. I think they're really funny, but like in a, sarcastic, funny.
Parenty way. Yeah.
No, I think they have a good sense of humor. As much as, they drive me crazy. But
Oh,
I got, yeah, and so if I said something funny, then they would go, that's funny. They would
Ah.
And then who knows, years later, that I would end up saying that line on Seinfeld.
That's funny.
That's funny.
I
But
get
my
it.
mom
I
would
get
say-
it.
But now she says, that's funny, Jan. You should do that in your act. She
Oh.
always says that. Every time I say something, she goes, that's cute. That's funny, Jan. You should put that in one of your acts.
One of your comedy
one of your
things
skits
that
or
you do
whatever.
skits. Have they seen you perform a lot?
Yeah, over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like it when they're in the audience?
Well, it's weird because my dad will say, you did the same materials.
Oh,
Or he calls it materials.
you did the same materials.
I know.
Oh,
And I go,
thanks.
It's material, and he goes, "Don't correct me." And then he saw me on Letterman.
Joke number one.
He saw me on Letterman, and I go, "What'd you think?" He goes, "Well, you did the same materials." And I go,
Right?
Yeah.
Because, Dad, it takes 8 years to
Yeah,
write an
it takes
hour
8
of material.
years.
Yeah.
Right.
You have 3 jokes, and it took you
Yeah,
80
right.
years, right? Dude, come on.
I'm like, you can't go on with new materials.
I used to love it when my dad was in the audience because I had a lot of stuff about my dad.
Oh.
And he would always argue with me over the material. Like he would go, well, I don't really do that. And I'd say, I know, Dad, because I took kind of what you do really, and then I kind of made it exaggerated so I could make a punchline out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except
but
in the cases where you probably didn't and did it.
yeah, some of it was
Exactly.
dead on.
Like, I
Right.
know my stuff about my family is pretty much
Right. It's just funny as it is. You don't even need to.
right.
What's
But
what's
people can relate. That's the thing, is people can
because we all have parents.
right.
Right,
it's
with 3
universal.
jokes.
The more personal it is, right? Yeah, we all have parents with 3 jokes.
My dad has more than 3 jokes.
Is he
Yeah.
funny, or-
Oh, my dad is hilarious.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But he might think he's funnier than he actually is. I mean, I think he's funny, but I mean, he
Yeah.
thinks he's really funny.
Oh, he's like a horror.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a sort of a prankster funny guy.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
he likes to.
So that's where you got your sense of humor.
He repeats himself a lot too, which I think I'm starting to do. You know,
Right.
he repeats himself a lot. You know, which is I
Okay,
think
I got
I'm
it.
starting to do.
What did she say?
He repeats. Okay, got it. All right.
Okay, yeah, okay, so.
I do that, don't I?
Yes, you do.
I do repeat my.
you
See,
really?
it's. I just sort of realized it as I was doing it, and I'm like, ugh, I got to stop doing that. Yeah.
Isn't it weird?
Maybe I should have my dad watch my tapes, and then he can give me more critique.
Yeah. he could
That would be
say,
wonderful,
You
wouldn't
repeated your materials.
Right.
Well, you
Well, they-
do that in life, though.
Repeat yourself.
Yes.
Sure, we all
You
do.
told me things that you told me a day earlier.
Oh.
Right.
Uh-oh.
I do it too.
Is he trying to do that joke again? No. Are you? You ask
you're
me
just
things.
repeating.
You know what? Let's get into it right now, Josh.
Wait, there's a
You
reference.
ask me things that you asked me before. I know. We don't remember. We have loss of short-term memory, I think.
I think you guys are too busy.
Or we don't get the response we want, and so we ask
Oh.
again.
That's
Or
what a comedian does. You say the same thing, keep
Yes.
saying it over and over to practice to check the temperature. Like that's,
right.
I do that, but what you do.
What do I do?
No, her. I don't know.
What does she do?
What I do is I'm
What does he do?
I'm responsible for everyone's failures. I am a failure. Everything. Yes.
It's not
Go.
even that.
Give
It's
it to me.
You will give me good news 2 days in a row.
Oh, well, that's good.
Did you hear? We're
What's
gonna
wong
get
with
the lighting.
that?
Great, great. And the next day, did you hear? We're gonna get the lighting. I'm like,
You're getting
yes.
the what? Oh, the lighting.
We're
The
doing
lighting.
we're upgrading some things in
It's
here.
really
I'm
nice.
very excited about
It
something.
looks fantastic.
And we have a good camera, which we're hopefully taping on right now.
Wait, I
good-
thought we're not, because I don't have makeup on.
Oh, you look
Oh,
fantastic.
but my
Yeah.
skin is oily.
it's an extremely wide shot. Don't worry.
Yeah. We might just put it on
you have-
YouTube.
have it in a new
With your
channel?
permission. Do we
On
have
the
you?
YouTube?
As I'm asking her now.
Oh, I-
Jew tubes?
Can we put your
Yeah,
materials?
I wasn't saying Jew, not Jew, like Jew. Well, whenever I'm screwed.
Yeah, we want to put your materials on the
Yeah,
YouTube.
the
Is that
Is
okay?
there a Jew? There should be.
Jew tubes? That's a great idea, Jan. You should start Jew tubes.
Oh.
If there isn't one, somebody Google that right now. I don't.
Jewish though. Not that it matters.
But she appears Jewish. That's all that matters.
Should be, if,
Right?
Say if it's good for casting.
You know Jerry Seinfeld. You
Yeah,
know Larry
I know
David,
Larry
and you
David.
sound like you're a Jew. That
My next
counts.
goal is to be on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh,
my
I
God.
see. It's coming back.
know.
Yeah. You know who hasn't been in this club yet is Larry David, but I imagine he'll
Guess
be
what, though?
popping in soon.
No.
I think. No?
Well,
Why?
I thought he was going to be here with
Aha.
Jeff's show.
Jeff
And
Garland.
I had talked to him a few weeks before about doing stand-up, since I feel, So I said, why don't he?
What did he say? He didn't want to do it, or he did
no,
want to?
I said, why don't you go to Flappers because you can try stuff. It's a really good audience. You don't have to feel rigid like in some.
Yeah,
of the other-
practice on our audiences.
Yeah, I said.
All right, that's a
because-
good idea.
because
Let's just
some of
fuck around, you know?
No.
They don't matter.
Thing.
Those Flappers
What
audiences.
I meant was it's a really good crowd. It's a nice energy. It's not all hipstery where you can't do your,
Hipster used to be a cool
regular
term. Now it's like a
stuff. But it's, you know
yeah.
what it's that alternative, like
Oh,
alternative.
yeah.
But it's not. It's just like what it just.
We do get real crowds here. We always say that.
Real people as
But
like-
opposed
they're
to all
very
those people.
nice. So anyway, I was.
You
singing
tried
praises.
and there you go.
He said, "I don't
Flappers.
know.
What's
He said,
Flappers?
I'll ask Jeff Garland about it.
Oh, he'll be here eventually, I think.
I don't know.
Because
He said,
Jeff
I don't
comes
know, maybe
every.
stand-up isn't for me.
Oh,
I know. I
gosh.
said you could go to the youth
Well, just
room,
come and do
come
it. Do
to the
your
main room, and
do your
just-
Bernie impression here. It'd be fine. Just come and do your Bernie
That'd
impression.
be hilarious.
Wouldn't that be classic?
Yeah.
We'll get him here.
All right.
If you're listening, Larry, we will get you
You're
here.
probably gonna kill me. Jen,
What-
don't talk
I
to me on
believe
that
in you, Larry. I believe in you, Larry David. I believe you can do it. You can do it. We teach stand up here. We can give you a brief lesson if you
Well,
want.
he doesn't. Yeah, he's not your status quo comic.
Oh, yeah? Well, what is a status quo comic?
I know you don't have him here.
Status quo comic.
I know that.
That's an interesting term.
Well,
I
listen,
can Google that. What's that
You
mean?
know the difference between men and women is
Oh,
No,
that's the status quo comic? All right. Did you hear the one about the.
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that,
let me see. Yeah.
You've met so many comics over the years. I mean,
Yes,
you've
I
performed
know
with so many.
everybody.
Right.
Just meet the other day.
Do you prefer performing with men or
I know
women?
George- no, wait, who did I just meet the other day? Oh, yeah. Well, I was just working at, somewhere else at a different club.
Okay, it's okay.
Craig-
You can mention it. It's
Craig
fine.
Robinson.
We love Craig Robinson.
great.
Yes. Oh, he's so sweet. When he comes here, he comes into our offices and says hello to all our employees, hangs out with them, shakes their hand, like
He's really sweet.
Yeah.
And Felicia Michaels was on the show.
Awesome.
It was great. It was her and then me back to back.
ooh, two
Nobody
ladies.
said, hey, we have another lady.
Right, which I like.
Because
Just
he
comics.
Richard Chasler just brought me up, and they didn't go, you folks ready for another lady?
Mm-hmm.
So he just brought it like no big deal, and she was doing her stuff, and I did mine, and it was great.
Wow, and two women didn't do jokes about the same things?
Yeah, I know. Can you believe?
Gosh, that's
I know, I
insane.
had to change my act.
Oh,
I had
right.
to do guys material.
Yeah,
Larry
that's a
David's
good
act.
That's a good idea. Perfect. All right, Larry. So you can't do that act when you come, but we'll definitely take any impressions if you're. Yeah.
That's a good idea. He should just come in. And
So what's up for you next? What are you doing? Touring the road, or are you?
touring. Oh, okay. So we did the pilot here for Dana
Yes.
First Impression show.
Yes.
So I was in that. That was
Uh-huh.
fun. Wasn't it a great
Ugh.
movie? Oh.
Yes,
I said they loved the pilot. Well, I guess.
we discovered all those impressionists here,
Oh.
and now
That was
they're
a lot of
off.
fun.
Off they go. Our room's not big enough to have a jib, so we couldn't shoot it in here. The real show.
No way.
We needed more height. Yeah, let's knock out these ceiling tiles next time. Meh, meh.
they could
Did they need a jib?
Well, a jib is cool.
So for you people at home, a jib is a homeless child.
It's right. I thought it was in a jar and you scoop it out and put it on toast and stuff.
Jibby.
Oh, that's jibby. Yeah. There's mini jibs though. Well, I thought maybe we could get a mini jib in here,
Oh.
right? Because it's kind of like that's like a smaller size, like a little person's camera. It's like a little person's camera.
You do the show gibless.
Gibless. That's right. Just be proud of it, gibless.
Well,
All right.
it didn't have to be that high. They wanted that flying.
It's a super cool camera that looks like it's like a bird, flies around the whole room and
It was
makes
definitely like
the room look a lot bigger than it is. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, well, enough about that though.
Okay.
What tell our listeners? We'll tell them about your website and your Twitter
Oh,
and
yeah.
how they can
Okay, so
follow
I
you.
have a solo show, that we taped and we're trying to sell it called Reclining Nude on La Cienega.
Oh,
And then,
are you
Laura
posed for that
Slaughter-
picture?
Yeah, I'm naked on one.
Awesome.
And hey, yeah. And so George Slaughter, the guy that created Laughing and everything.
Amazing talent.
And it's like, yeah, but come on, he discovered Lily Tomlin and
Yep.
Goldie Hawn and Ruth Buzzy.
Big fan of yours. He's a big
Yeah,
fan
so
of yours.
He taped it and paid, like, shot it,
Wow.
executive produced it. And then I should make a joke. And then, so we're trying to sell it, you know, but the agent who has it, he's like, because it's the 4th of July right now, right? So he's like, after the holidays, after the holidays.
Whatever.
Well, people are away before the holiday.
And then they're,
It's President's Day.
Yeah.
People go away. He goes, oh, yeah, people go away for 3 weeks at a time on President's Day, Jan. Did you know that?
so you mean, she's not doing their job, selling it. Yeah.
That's my, by the way, whoever, if the agent's listening, it's not about you per se, it's my joke about, it's my take on agents as a joke. It's like the family stuff. Like, it's not you, mom and dad. It's
Right.
not you, sister.
It's not you.
Concept of you.
It's the.
It's the concept of you. That's a great title. It's the concept of you.
Well, people know how much I love agents, right?
But people love what?
People know how much I love agents.
That's right.
Yeah.
He
If
said,
you've ever, he said, she said. Sorry, Adam and Chris and
your agent.
Mark and no.
Oh, who?
No, agents are difficult because
Well, you
they
need
have
them.
they have a lot of pressure from their clients.
I know they do.
We
And
love
they-
agents,
they-
especially when we
But-
get our secretaries to talk to them. That's
Right. Yes.
Oh.
Admin. That's what we do.
But that's a whole. We got to do a whole
Okay, we have to
topic
do a
on
show
agents.
that.
Yeah. But so what if someone was listening and was interested in the special? They would call
Okay.
George or go to your website. How do they find
Go to
you,
the
Jan?
website, JannKaram.com, JannKaram.com. And no, but it's not on. The show isn't
No,
there yet.
I
We're
know.
trying to, like,
Do a
sell
little
it.
sizzle.
Yeah.
Maybe you do a little
Yeah,
sizzle.
Yeah, I have a sizzle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
have a
sorry.
sizzle. I
Giving
should-
you to-do
should I put the
list.
sizzle on there?
Absolutely. Put it on. Let people
know.
tease
We'll
people.
talk to George first. Because
Okay.
You got to be careful.
Because
with,
the sizzles for trying to sell it.
Yep.
but maybe I could have like a 1 minute.
Yeah.
Or two.
We
We're
gotta
working
see.
on a new, like a trailer sizzle.
Great.
Trailer sizzle.
But your tour calendar.
So much work.
Trailers
Yeah,
and-
and then where am I going on the road next?
I love how everything is a rhetorical
I know,
question.
because you know what?
Let me see where you're
What
going,
am I
Jan.
doing?
Well, you're here
I
tonight.
had an audition.
Oh,
For
great.
a new show on Netflix, but I don't think I got it.
Oh.
Because the phone rang during my audition, and I was like,
Your phone?
No, their phone.
Oh, so you think they weren't interested?
Well, no, but it just was ringing.
What if it
in
was
the
someone going,
background.
"Oh my God, hire that Jan immediately. She's amazing."
They weren't
Maybe
talking on it. It was just ringing while I was doing my lines.
Wow.
And they were like, should we answer the phone? You know, and you want to say, you guys.
Did you say get
turn off
that?
your ring.
No, I would be like, "Do you want to get that?"
Yeah, I should have said that.
Yes.
I was like, I was wimpy. So mad at myself for being wimpy.
Yeah.
So now
Good
I'm going to
coaching.
prison.
Good coaching.
Put myself in prison. No, it's bad. Yeah, so that's when I need to assert myself. In those
Okay.
situations.
Well, we every week here on the FlappCast, we like to invite some
You're
comics.
shifting.
Well, who would love to hear from you, I think.
Okay.
If you can remember any feedback to give them when we're
yeah, I
just
love
write it
seeing
down
new
here.
comics.
And it's called Punch It Up.
Okay.
So we have a couple of great folks that Josh invited today. That
I'm punching.
are you into it?
I want the world to know.
Yeah.
That I'm
Let
punching.
it go.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Can we record
Oh,
that
I
and
shouldn't
use
have
that
said
for
that. I shouldn't have
next
done
time?
that. I
No,
know
it's
you
good.
need, like-
Here, can you sign this? Remember, you don't sign anything, but let's just sign here. All
Yeah,
right,
you don't sign.
I got her signature. It's cleared.
All right, it's good.
Who's first, Joshua? Let's do this punch it up
Bring
thing.
up our first comedian,
Have fun, you guys.
Yousef Abu-Taleb.
Yousef.
Yousef.
I'm not going to be able to repeat that name.
What's up, everyone? I want to get something out in the open real quick. I'm an Arab with 5 middle names. Yeah. You know how hard it is to make friends when your name is Yousef, Fawad, Yousef, Muhammad, Miflah, Aladdin, Abu-Taleb? It's like my parents wanted me to get beat up or something. Yousef is both my first name and one of my middle names. Like, I want to know what happened there. Like, what were my parents thinking? Did they have a quota to fill? They just run out of other names? No, throw Yousef back in there. You know it's his first name. He won't know. It's fine. And Aladdin, seriously? Were they trying to win like a who's the most Arab competition? Aladdin is one of my middle names. It doesn't get more Arab than Aladdin. Unless you add Abu to it. Just like my last name does. It goes Aladdin, Abu. That's right. Like the fucking Disney movie. Except the rest of my last name is Talib, which sounds like Taliban. So it's a Disney movie about terrorists. Again, Mom and Dad, really great time to have that name. Really appreciate that. Fucking Disney movie about terrorists, really? Actually, I would totally watch that movie, honestly, because the songs alone would probably be amazing. They would, right? One jump over the landmines. That was a really short movie. I know. What do you want to do? I don't know. Sing another song. I can show you the World Trade Center. Too soon, I know. It's the day after July 4th. I know. Do you know how hard it is to tell a 9/11 joke when your name is Yousef, Fawad, Yousef, Muhammad, Mifleh, Aladdin, Abu-Taleb? That's my time, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Yousef, come on over here.
Whoa.
Everyone makes the couch.
To the couch.
At the FlappCast. Jan's an
First-
expert at the casting
Oh,
couch.
it's the first time I've been invited to a couch after an audition. I'm just kidding.
Yousef is so buffy. I mean,
you know, it's just hot outside.
not in a Vampire
I
Slayer
know.
way.
I
I mean,
usually dress up a little more.
oh no,
But it's been
please.
hot. It's been
We
very
love
hot.
your arms, don't we? Let's objectify the man for once. That's all I'm saying.
I have a couple. Most of them have something to do with birth or places I've been in the world.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
like a
so
whole
like,
half a world on there.
I know, right? No, I'm doing continents, so I'm trying to hit all the continents before I turn 40. Yeah.
So your whole body's going to be tattooed with continents?
No, I'll just fill them in.
Oh,
So
right.
the empty ones are not filled.
Better than incontinence.
Yeah. Hey-o.
Oh, that's why I'm here. Josh, I can't believe you didn't pick up that one.
Yeah, Josh.
Yousef, is that really?
I'm trying to steer away from the vomit.
He's afraid of the women, I can tell.
Josh is very clean.
We
It's-
should have put
it's
him in
good
the
of
middle
him.
of us,
I
Jan.
like it. Oh, please.
So
I love
Yousef,
that.
how long have you been doing comedy?
I've been in entertainment for a while. Comedy is new, but 10
Explain.
years ago, I was on a series called Lonely Girl 15, which we're bringing back now.
Oh,
10 years
yes.
later, yeah. So I'm going to be producing and acting on that again.
Excellent.
And then, but comedy, Josh was actually my first teacher.
Oh.
And so I've been doing this 6 months maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, screwed it all up, Josh. Right?
I like it.
God.
I liked it. I liked it.
No, he's
I think he did a good job, actually. That name is really, really
It's
something.
true. It's all true.
I-
The
I-
Aladdin part I just found out. My younger brother was like,
that's
Aladdin's also
goldmine.
one of your middle names. I was like, the hell are you talking about? Like, seriously?
Well, you did it a little later, but when you first said Aladdin, I really wanted you to just go, a whole new world. Even if it's bad, just gotta break into one of the songs. That was
Yeah.
an idea. Right, just something.
I actually loved that movie as a kid, so it's kind of bittersweet having that name, you know?
Say that.
Yeah? You think I should talk about that?
See what comes out.
Okay.
Man. I know.
Yeah.
So definitely give us some opinion on it. That was
I
yeah,
love it.
opinion, right?
Mhm.
I feel like
Complaint.
Overall, that's what I mean, 'cause
Say,
when you're first
yeah.
starting out, you work on your jokes and they come from your head and it's like intellectual, and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
start to bring it into your persona.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it comes out of you, like how, so that everything that you say, how do you feel about what you're saying?
Oh, totally. Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
You
Yeah, yeah.
know.
I
He
give
Josh
it as much.
Josh
yeah.
gave
Josh
him the
just
education.
he just drilled in our heads.
What
yeah.
about this idea though? You know, when you went to the Disney movie about terror, like you're like a Disney
Yeah,
movie about terror, but
yeah.
then you could have a really fun spin on that and say,
Punchlines, not
well, I mean, it's just if you think of something. But I thought of, aren't all Disney movies about terrorism? No.
That's sort of
I
true,
mean-
though, isn't it? Oh man, I never thought about
It's a little
that.
political if you say that,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you feel
It kind
that.
of is, though.
But I thought that might have been.
You know, I appreciate that because I'm
Yeah.
actually looking to figure out how to expand things too, and like where to add tags and things like that. So that's good. That's
that popped.
good.
That
I
was one of the
appreciate that.
tags. I thought, oh well, isn't that?
Yeah.
One of the things I do too is try to maybe look at also the people around you and
Yeah.
how they view your name, because like
Yeah.
you do not look.
No.
You look like a
I look.
beefy
We both
surf
look Jewish.
boy or
Neither
whatever.
one of us are. I don't know.
Jewish surf boy,
Yeah.
if I may say,
Yeah.
or something.
I
I,
actually-
don't know. Is that possible?
I get cast more. I've never been cast as an Arab, but I have been cast as a Jewish guy before.
Oh.
Yeah. So a Hasidic one at that.
You
Yeah.
look like a Joshua.
Yeah. Josh. It's my brother.
Yeah.
We're brothers.
Yeah.
We're brethren.
But
Yeah.
we are brothers.
We are brothers. That's actually true.
Yes.
Look at that. We don't.
Bros.
Oh, look
This
at that.
is-
See, it's the piece
this
right
is
here.
too much
if
bromance.
only we had everybody from there
Right, exactly.
in the room right now.
Yeah.
To get it.
I mean, this is really the only difference between our religions is how you cook the hummus. I feel like that's
I'm
the
pretty
only
sure that's true. Yeah,
Or garlic.
I like to stir it 32 times,
Right.
but I don't know. I've heard something about 72 times. I don't know.
Well, you have a great confidence for being so early in stand-up. I mean, 6 months.
Maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's different.
I've always
than-
loved it though. I've
Yeah.
watched it my entire life.
So you
and
studied, which also
Yeah, I just-
watching
Yeah.
makes you better.
I love it.
Sometimes
it's
I
one of
think
my favorite
since
things.
I started just watching and not performing as much, I think I see it even stronger because your agenda is about watching and observing the
Yeah.
structure
Okay,
instead
you
of.
would be better now.
I am better now. If I do get up, yes,
Right.
for sure. Oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah.
because it's a different agenda.
Yeah.
It's not about being
It's
the
you see
performer.
technique of it. It's
right.
personal.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask you all something? What's it like since you've all been around for a while, as like doing club stuff in your hometown kind of thing versus being on the road? What's that like?
Jan, you
Oh.
please
Oh.
answer
the
that
difference?
one.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, what's the difference? I mean, with crowds that maybe know you,
Uh huh.
you know,
They know you here? Is that just
a little
Well, he's
bit,
new,
little
so
bit.
everyone
yeah,
who's
so
coming
people
out
keep
to see
coming
him
out, and
know
you know,
him.
everybody wants to see
Yeah.
the new things. and-
Right.
Yeah. Versus people that do not know you. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
what's
Well,
that like for you?
You have to connect. They have to relate to you in some way
Mhm.
and connect with you somehow by what you say or how you behave. Or
So do you change it up based on where you're going geographically? You're like, oh, I'm going to Kansas. I'm going to tell tornado jokes, or I don't know.
To have to say something because to bring them all together, so it's common, a common thread that
Mhm.
everyone goes, oh yeah, right. Like when I went to Claremont.
Like it's a foreign country. It's 35 minutes
Claremont.
away, people.
Ooh.
Just so we're clear, it's still in LA County, I think, or
I said,
Inland.
Claremont.
I said
Where's that?
I had to allow extra time for traffic. They said make sure that you leave in plenty of time. So
Yeah.
I left May 30th. I was just there like last week. And it
Just
was
waiting
about
around.
15 minutes
No, I'm
ago, so I
headlining.
made good time.
Right.
So I was that just like that little thing, and then you could maybe one or two things like that, and
Yeah.
then you could do your stuff.
Okay,
Emotions
all right.
are universal,
Okay,
right?
so that
So
just-
your feelings about something are
Yeah.
universal. That's, I think, when you're early on with the joke writing is at first you write that dirty joke and it gets a laugh because everyone laughs at a dirty joke,
Yeah.
but it has no perspective from you per
Yeah.
se, so then that dirty joke turns into how do I feel having sex or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and it's sort of, there's this development, I think, and you learned to realize after a while that then that stuff works everywhere because everyone has parents, everyone has brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
what not everyone doesn't have is a job on a production company or
Yeah.
those are the things that
Right.
are not universal
Okay.
that are also very interesting
Right.
to find out about and reveal a lot about you as a person. So I'm not saying stay away from them, but like be aware that a lot of time, like Jann was totally assuming all these great people she met, and the minute she said a big name, you're like,
Yeah,
because you wanted to hear her say
Yeah.
those names,
Yeah,
but
Bill
of course,
Burr,
yeah,
David Letterman. Actually, I
she's-
met Arsenio Hall. That was the first celebrity I ever met. I was in 6th grade. He in Virginia. Oh.
Really? Oh, that's creepy.
Arsenio, they're
does
coming
love
for
Lady
you. I'm
Comics.
just saying, watch out.
Sorry,
I can see
Arsenio.
the sirens
I didn't mean
as we
that.
speak.
I love you.
Yeah, but yeah, nice guy.
No. He's really, really sweet.
He probably doesn't remember me because I was in a classroom.
We'll
He
ask him.
doesn't remember.
We'll check with him.
Yeah.
Yousef.
Okay. Woo, woo,
But
woo.
you know what? I mean, my whole thing is before you start talking about the material,
Yeah.
you need the material to like get you out there so that you have. But the way you're talking to us right now, and you're
So
doing, like,
awesome.
little side things
Isn't he
and, like,
cute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like what we want to see, like not to take on that stand-up persona that's like, oh, grab the mic, da da da. But I know that's what you need at first. It's like learning to,
Yeah,
turn
yeah.
on or whatever.
But then you merge them together
Yeah.
like one thing.
I'm looking forward to all
It's
that.
odd.
One day, hopefully.
Merge,
So
merge,
Just
Yousef.
merge
And
in
I'm
the
only gonna-
traffic.
It's why
Yeah.
I mean, I would practice in front of the mirror. I do that. Like, how do I feel
Yeah.
about this? And so, like, you could yell about it. Like, this pisses me off that my dad. And then you find a part of yourself that that's like funny or endearing.
Damn it, I love Aladdin, for crying out loud. Ugh, why did they have to name me Aladdin? Like, of all, couldn't you name me like fucking, what's the Lion King's name or something? Simba, right?
Which
I
almost
hate
looks like
guy.
that. Let's be honest.
I hate that guy, right? So we want that judgment or that opinion.
Yeah.
How does Yousef it,
Yeah,
view it?
exactly.
But
Because you have a nice, charming smile and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some people come up and they just do like the completely dead, just nothing, and then to make it visceral.
Oh,
It's not
okay.
easy, but you could practice it. You could practice at home. You could practice when you talk.
I
to
do,
people.
yeah. I love that.
Getting your
It's just all of it,
opinion
yeah. Okay, I'll work on that, making it a little bit more.
It's just a way. It's just
Yeah,
a little
strong.
door.
A little nugget, a little door.
Open the door a little bit.
The lady's opening the door for you, Yousef.
Wow, see,
How
I'm
nice
such a
is
jerk.
that?
I will open the door as well for you, I promise.
Where can our your
good.
fans, your new Yousef fans?
Check out some of my stuff.
Yeah,
Most of my handles are at YOUABU, so it's at Uabu. It's the
Yuaboo,
yeah.
Yuaboo.
And then
That's so cute. Yuaboo.
Okay, go ahead.
and then you can check out all the Lonely Girl 15 stuff at LG15.com.
And you're one of the producers, creators.
Yeah, and I was the lead actor on it.
Oh,
Actually, I was one of 2 actors when the show first started.
you don't look like a lonely
Yeah,
girl.
I know, right? I was one of the 2 that wasn't invited on Jay Leno's show. So thanks, Jay.
Jay.
That's okay
Well, they probably just,
though. No, they wanted the girl.
Oh, I see.
We always want the girl.
Dang, not always. Not always.
That's why Barb had
It's
to
true.
overcome.
Believe it or not, in comedy, it's not like that. You actually, there's a lot of you, though.
There's a
White
lot
males.
of white.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
But not a lot of Jewish Muslims or whatever. I know. He looks like he's Jewish. So we're just
That's
going to
true.
go with it.
We'll go with it. Like you said earlier.
How about that, Joe?
That's a
Whatever
keeper.
gets you cast.
Write that down. All right. Yousef, thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much
joining
for your time.
us.
I really appreciate it.
We'll see you around the Flappers soon.
Oh,
All right, we got
tonight.
time for one more.
Yes, one more.
Who is next, Joshua?
Keep it going for Steve Saracino.
All right. Another hot young male Joshua has put in front of us, Jann. Yow! Wow! Look at that. Steve Saracino.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Steve Saracino. I'm a recovering Italian.
Oh.
And one of the things I'm recovering from is society's perception of Italians in this country. We've been here 125 years, we being Italians, 125 years, 20 million people of Italian descent. And only 5,000 come under the control of my Uncle Paulie in North Jersey. So this is something that I was substitute teaching the other day. And we're talking about racism. And I said, okay, what's the difference between racism and stereotyping? And a student who did not know me at all said, well, stereotyping is when you say all Italians are in the mafia. And then racism is when you find out it's true. I couldn't have written it any better. I had no idea how to get around that. It was very much of a pretzel thing. But that's one of the things I'm recovering from. See, there's an Italian tax in this country that I pay. And that's the extra you pay. When I have to be twice as honest as anybody else here to be perceived as being equally as honest because I'm Italian. I was in the hospital the other day, and I actually had to send a picture to Ken Pringle of me in the hospital so he would believe I was in the hospital because I told him I couldn't make this gig, and it's one of those things. So there's an Italian tax in this country. There really is. I taught sex ed for a long time.
Woo!
Yes.
Wow.
And the kids were great. The parents were very, very strange about it, extremely strange about it. The word bicentennial came up in the classroom. And again, I asked, what does bicentennial mean? And this kid raises his hand, and he says, that's when a boy or a girl could love a boy or a girl.
Ah.
I said, well, that's not quite right. That's wrong. 2 hours later, I got a phone call from his mother, and she said, what do you mean bicentennial is wrong? It's my lifestyle choice. Now, a kid could get out of my class with a note from his parent, and, I just happen to have some notes with me. I carry them around with me, just in case I run into a podcast. And this note says, Mr. Saracino, please let my daughter go. She's tired of all the sex in your class. You like that, don't you, Ed? Okay. Yes. Pervert sitting back there in the booth. This one says, Saracino, please, my son, sex no in church gets. And all I got from this, kid was Catholic. That's all I got. Dear Mr. Saracino, please excuse Jane from sex. She gets it at home. That was it. That's my time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, Jan, you sound so excited. Steve, have a seat on our couch.
Oh, sure.
Enjoy. Come sit on our couch.
The white
So
cow.
comfortable.
I know, it is. Don't go to sleep. Steve Saracino. So you are a substitute teacher.
Well, I'm a retired teacher.
Ah.
And what I did for a while, I went back and substituted. And I found out I can't, you can't ride two horses with one butt, no matter how big my butt is. So I quit doing substituting. I had 41 years as a teacher.
Oh.
And that was long enough.
What does that mean, one butt with two horses?
Well, like,
What was it, two butts? Oh,
no, one but no, I know it looks, no, it's only one.
okay.
It's tough to tell that walking away, but there's comedy and then there's teaching, and I like to give my all to whatever I do, and I couldn't split it.
Oh, yeah.
I could not split it. So
Yeah. Are you
Gosh.
full-time comedian now? Or
Yes.
How long have you been doing
well, I'm working at being a full-time comedian.
How
Yes,
long have you been doing, I mean,
about 10 months.
oh, okay. So did you study with Josh?
Oh.
Well, I watched him a lot.
Oh, okay.
I sat next to him a lot.
If only more
But-
teachers were funnier. That's what I'm thinking. Is why? Do you know
Oh,
how
school
much?
teacher, yeah.
Gosh, do you know how
No,
much
I
better our
think
education would be?
And I never confused teaching with doing stand-up. Although crowd work, I'm very comfortable doing crowd work because that's what I did most of the time.
But parents do not like you making jokes in the class, right?
Actually,
Is it-
you're
tell
right.
me,
It
honestly.
well,
Interesting.
what it's a good training for watching the jokes that you make here. Because you have to really be careful of what kind of jokes you make, especially when you're teaching sex ed.
Oh, right.
Oh my
Especially
God.
when you're teaching sex ed, yeah.
Did you
Oh, go ahead.
did you see Michael Moore's new movie, Where to Invade Next?
No.
Highly recommend it.
Yes, I got
They do a whole section about the sex. Steve, you should see it. It's about sex education in the U.S. and in Sweden and Italy and France and all the different ways it's taught, and it's so interesting to see. Completely different than it is here.
Yeah.
Here we tell everyone no, basically. You can't have sex. Abstinence. That's what we teach. And there they're like, oh, here's how you treat your partner. And you should be, it's like a
They don't
completely
shame.
different.
This is a shaming
Yeah.
society.
Well, two things I want to say about that. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Add to that, don't have sex, don't have sex, don't have sex. But if you do, use a
That's
condom.
good.
Right.
Use a condom.
That's a good
And I
thing.
think that's the way to do it.
That's a good thing.
That's what I would do in class.
And that's what he
Absolutely.
says to the parents.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, with some kids.
Whoa, writing jokes, writing
There we go.
jokes.
Oh, that was good. You see how you did that and then the thing.
Yeah,
was
that
good.
the
Yeah.
I
punchline.
tell the parents, you could
Yeah.
just throw it away. That was perfect. You have it on tape.
Thank you, Jan.
That's what I mean, though.
And the district.
The way you said it, though, this is like my big stickler thing. Not stickler, but it's like, oh. The way you said it had so much passion,
Mm-hmm.
like the way I'm saying it now. And then that's what makes it so grounded in your own reality and your own point of view. And then when you go,
Nobody
that's what
can-
I told the parents. Then it's,
Nobody can deny you.
Yeah, and it's so much of who you are that no one else can do it that way.
Well, Dave Reinitz in class last week said something very important. He said,
I've heard
make
of
your,
him.
About sex ed.
I've blown him. No one heard that, right? What? Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, go ahead. We're listening.
Oh, no, it's okay. No, that's okay. I'm used to it. My family never listens to me anyway, so I feel right at home right
Perfect.
now.
That's good.
Dave said,
You started teaching is because your family never listened to you, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, you have some stuff here.
Dave said, make the truth emotion-based and not factually based.
Right.
Right.
And I think that's what you were saying.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a cool thing. It like underlines what he said last week in class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really just like you are having a conversation and you're telling somebody about your job. And the way that it comes up is that, how it comes up, like this. It was very organic.
I have a new word. It's funny, festers in the truth.
Ooh.
I'm going to say that because
Ooh.
it's like it festers in the truth, but
That's
then
great.
when it comes out, like obviously you don't tell the parents, but that's
Right,
the
what you
punchline
said, right.
because we were leading the audience one way and then we surprise them with something
And
unexpected.
That's the technique part of it, right? Or that's when you go, oh, I could do this.
Right.
Your beginning was how you started the joke, which was a concept
Yes.
of like, well, I
And Steve's told me, I've heard Steve before, and he's talked a lot. I've tried to get out of him a lot more about the parents, because parents are crazy.
Right.
And all people in the audience have a similar, they all have kids, or they were kids, or they have been to school, or they've dealt with parents, or they've had to go to parent-teacher conferences. So that stuff is truly universal. And if I never get to hear the teachers complain, right?
Yeah.
So what's the teachers complain about? These parents, the kids are fine. Like you said, the kids are the easy part. It's the
Right.
parents.
I felt like there was a little joke, yeah, but I felt like there was not something, but it was not tended to. But you said, Yousef said, and the kids are great, and I was like,
Yeah,
hey,
I thought he was gonna. Yeah,
I didn't
great.
know what.
No.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't want you to go there.
Right,
but,
right.
But it is like, no, you thought I was gonna say, because it just makes you think that.
Well, I actually had a parent call up and ask me because his daughter was too shy to ask in class. Can my daughter get pregnant giving a blowjob?
The parent asked you,
The parent called me and asked
and
me.
his name was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
and I said,
Bill.
Funny, and his name.
and I said, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. So I just said, no. That's it. That can't be. And I hung up. Thank you very much. You're welcome. And then when I hung up, I said, boy, those sperm would have to be really smart swimmers. That's what I wanted to say to him, but I didn't. You can't say that. And what's her
That's good.
and what's her phone number? No, I see.
gee, Bill,
these are all
you must have had a lot of kids.
yeah.
I
So
don't know,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Parents are a trip to deal with. They really are, and it is a fine
That
line.
was a good joke. See, you have a look, and I like the thing what you said about stereotype and
Racist and
that was
yeah.
really good.
I thought I was going to say, can we write another one there?
Yeah.
Because that was so good. That sounded like a format joke. Like
Right.
you could have another one.
The whole thing about that.
Yeah.
Well, that's right now.
There's more
after,
there.
After 10 months, I'm trying to decide, to go in the recovering Italian direction, or the sex ed teacher, or both.
It is all.
You have to pick.
Yeah, thank you, Jan. You tell it. Tell him from a
because
professional.
that's one thing I wanted to ask you about.
Oh,
that.
I deal with this question a lot, right? Like I was a kids club host. I was a comedian. I raised, train dogs. I do mosaic tiling. Do I have to do a set about just one of those things?
Right.
No, I am all
that
of
whole
those
branding
things.
thing, right?
Yeah, but you are all of those things wrapped into one.
You're not, unless you're just going to do 2 minutes and we're recovering.
Right. Remember, when you get to a headliner spot, you're doing 60 minutes. There's a lot of material in there, and it comes from a lot of different points of view.
Right.
And there's no that's where people actually, younger, or not young comics. Steve's like 15, but newer. Yes, thank you for speaking for me.
you, Barbara.
Yeah, it's this thing you sort of you organize your bits so perfectly that it's almost imperfect. It's not. It's too perfect. Yeah, you got to crumble them all together and throw them in your
Well,
pants.
this is the big thing about the branding. Why my brand is this? Well, what's your brand? And that's like, so you can't. You're limiting yourself in what you can.
What
talk
your
about.
brand is, the It's all one
It's
thing.
not going to be that. It's not like Henny Youngman days or whatever. I mean, I don't think it's. Like
Branding's important, but you are
It
your.
is.
But what I
You
always say
are
is,
who you
you
brand.
are your branding.
Yeah.
Like you are a brand. You're
Right.
sort of a. I can describe it.
Right, but I can talk about it a
a
lot.
ditzy older lady who can't remember anything.
Right,
Right?
right.
I mean, they love it when I say this.
Well, Barbara, I got that
Yeah.
That was
in
my
your.
brand.
Sorry, Josh.
Wait,
No, you're the Yousef brand.
Have I not remembered anything when I?
Huh? Who are
tell
you?
you something.
What?
Oh, because I'm thinking about my.
Am I right on that branding, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
I
saying-
got that from your
One-
class.
yes.
The exercise you did in that class, where you stood one person
Yes.
up and then we all said what she looked like.
We did a marketing branding class.
Yeah,
It's very interesting.
yeah, and that's where I got the recovering Italian from. Because
Yes.
I sat down, I kind of went through that. Of
But
course,
you're
it's-
more than that. That's what we're saying.
And I think that's a great way to look at it.
Yes.
I think that
Because I was
the thing
frustrated.
If I had to choose for you between the two, I think the teaching. is
Me
more-
too.
is deeper.
Relates to more people.
Right. Well, because the other thing about the Italian thing is that
It's sort of stereotypical.
It's surfacey, and
Yeah.
I don't think you looked at Italian. I wouldn't.
It's not even that. I don't know if you really feel that way.
Yeah, he doesn't. You feel softer, like you know.
Well, that's why I'm a recovering. See, I'm not like my family. They're all in North Jersey. I'm here, and
Then you got to
and
say that too.
and well, that's part. I didn't have time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the jokes is like
good.
they're angry that I'm here, you know, and because they think I moved here to get away from them, and I hate when they're right. I did move here to get away from them, absolutely, because I'm not Guido.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not the guy that buries the body at 2 a.m. in the morning and all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not
So what
that.
are you then?
I am very modern, very Italian, and very good. That's what I am. That's the way I feel right now.
And a teacher.
You're kind of a
Yes,
renegade, right?
ex-teacher. Yes,
You're an
absolutely.
expat. You're
Excuse
an
me?
expat,
Yes.
kind
Yep.
of from the family.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have one homework assignment for you. There's a great documentary called Dishonesty. I just caught it on Netflix, and it's this whole because you were talking about a little bit about being honest, or you were talking about the being honest or not, telling the truth. Was it in the taxes and all that stuff, or it was sort of stereotypical, but really you're talking about lying or being dishonest, or the parents are dishonest.
I was talking about the American public
Oh, the American
perception
public. Right.
of Italians.
Yes.
Is that anything I say, if it deviates from what they
Yeah.
believe, it's like, well, he's not telling the truth.
It's
He wasn't really in the hospital. He was just at the beach and he wanted to get out of doing a gig.
right.
That kind of thing.
This documentary is very interesting, though. You might want to take a look at it because it gave me some ideas about talking about lying, like super, very interesting ideas. It's like this whole survey about how everybody lies. Everybody lies. If you say you don't lie, you're lying, right? But
Right.
literally, they prove it by handing you a survey, and then they ask everyone to turn in the survey, and they say they're going to shred it, but they don't shred it. And then they ask you to tell what your results were. And everybody lies. So anyway, there's just a lot of fun little things in it like that might give you some.
Sure.
And there were references to different ethnic groups in there as well, which led me to think of it for you. But
Okay.
just fun. Documentary.
Dishonesty?
It's called Dishonesty. Yeah, it's on Netflix as a
As in
documentary.
disrespect, honesty.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just I don't
Cool.
know.
Thank
You'll
you.
see all about
Sure.
it. Just an idea. Anything else, Josh? What do you have?
Oh, actually, we're about to have class. So I'll
Yes, we've got to go.
Yeah.
We've run out of time. Oh, Steve Saracino, where can our listeners find out more about you?
YouTube. Steve
Spell
Saracino.
your name there.
STEVESaracino. I'm also on Facebook.
Did you have a .com there on
So-
your website? Saracino.
Saracino, just Steve Saracino. If you go on YouTube and punch in Steve Saracino, my channel will be there, and all of my videos will be there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Check Steve Saracino out, and he'll be here at Flappers every now and then, and
Yes.
having a class showcase soon, right?
Yes, indeed.
What's the date of it?
Well,
Oh, Josh.
actually, I'll be
All
hosting here on July 18th.
There you go.
Right here on this date.
All
Right here,
right.
right here. Yeah.
Sweet.
Steve, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you had a good time. The amazing Jann Karam. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got to wrap it up. We ran out of time.
Okay.
You talked forever. It was wonderful. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no, it was fun watching the comedians.
So Josh is going to tell us who's in Claremont this weekend, right?
Yes, indeed, I am going to tell you.
Let's see if he knows.
Burbank.
Can
Yes,
you remember?
Gary Valentine.
Gary
Gary
Valentine.
Valentine from the King of Queens.
Aw,
in Claremont.
he has my heart.
This weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Drew Lynch is taping his 1-hour special.
We're
Did I
taping?
Stutter? Thursday, 8 p.m.
Yes,
Friday, 8
you
p.m.,
did.
10 p.m., Saturday, 8 p.m. and 10
And might I say, on Friday, 8 o'clock, there will be a special surprise guest dropping in.
Yes.
I can't really tell you who it is, but you might be able to figure it out. Friday, 8 o'clock. That's July 8th.
What's our clue?
Drew was on AGT, guys. First runner-up last year. Some big supporters out there for him.
Yes, indeed.
So, and the tickets are almost sold out. There's only literally a few. So, if you're listening this Tuesday
Howard
night,
Stern?
get the tickets now. Jan, she's gonna keep. Okay, you keep naming on the as we head out. Yes, please, Burbank Comedy Festival, August 14th through 20th. You can buy tickets now. We have an amazing lineup of comedians, but we're going to be announcing them officially on the 7th, which is this Thursday. So go to burbankcomedyfestival.com to see who will be revealed as the 2016 showcasing comedians. But among some of the big names are Tom Green. We have Tom Segura and Christina Pazitsky taping Your Mom's House.
Christopher Titus.
and Rachel Bradley, the Verbal Circus podcast, Jimmy Pardo, the top 3 podcasts.
Oh,
And then our podcast also.
wow.
Actually, don't think so.
We're not doing our podcast.
No way.
Okay, well, everyone else's big podcast would be.
You got to get in on there.
I know.
Can you get-
We're going to work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it like at 8 in the morning or someone. All right. Well, thanks again for listening to another exciting episode. And thanks to our headliner, Jann Karam, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Check us out next week, FlappCast.com.
Masters. Oh, is that the laser light?
This is a silly little gift I have for you guys. It's a little flashlight. I just thought I would say thank you for coming today. Every comic needs a good flashlight. Hey, I have to scoot out really quick. I'm late.
Good job.
Battery died, but,
Yeah,
Oh,
I am.
okay.
And you-
but I'll take yours back
Yeah.
up.
Okay. Will you take care of Jan?
Yeah.
I actually have to go to my.
What do I get? Oh, I have to
Jen?
sign?
Do you want some food or something?
Dinner?
No, maybe later.
You can take something to go too.
No, she's sticking
Okay.
around. She's
Because I'm
headlining.
doing 7:30.
All right, I gotta scram you guys.
Okay,
I'm late.
bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Barb.